Hey, what's up everybody? This is Dom, and today we are comparing the Samsung Gear 2 Neo to the Samsung Gear Fit. The reason I chose these two devices is because they are exactly the same price. Coming in at $199, we are going to discuss the differences and similarities between the two and see which one is best for you. So let's start out here by taking a look at specifications. Samsung's Gear 2 Neo is rocking a 1.63-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 320 by 320, a 1 GHz dual-core processor inside, along with 512 megabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of internal storage, and a 300 mAh battery. Taking a look at the Gear Fit, we have a 1.84-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 432 by 128. We also have a 180 MHz ARM Cortex M4 processor, an unspecified amount of RAM, and a 210 mAh battery. Jumping right into hardware, on the back of the Gear Fit, we have our connection points for the charging cradle, which I will show you a little bit about later, and we also do have our heart rate monitor, which is also found on the Gear 2 Neo. Now, this will read your heart rate in real time as it does lay against your skin, so that's pretty cool. And on the side here, we do have a single button, which acts as a sleep-wake button and a home button to take you back to the general clock screen right here. As you can see with its curved design, it is a bit bulky, but it's very comfortable when wearing it, and you also do have the ability to change out the strap with a different color or a new one if you happen to break the one that came with it. The Gear Fit does tend to stick out a little bit on your wrist, as you can see right here, but in my opinion, it didn't get in the way too much, and overall, like I said, it's very comfortable. On the back of the Gear 2 Neo, we have a very similar layout with our connection points there for the charging cradle, as well as the heart rate sensor right below it, which rests against your skin. Now, moving along to the front side of the device, we have a physical home button down at the bottom right there, and you can press that to get back to this main clock screen from wherever you're at, or you can use it to put the device to sleep. So if you don't want the screen on, just press that button, make sure you're back at the clock screen, and it will sleep the device. So that's kind of a neat feature. Now, up at the top here, we do have an IR blaster, and this can be used to, well, control your TV or anything else that can be controlled from an IR blaster using the Watch On app that's on the device. Now, as you can see here on the side, we do have a small little microphone down there at the bottom, and if we flip it around to the other side, we actually have a speaker on this as well. Now, you can actually use the Gear 2 Neo and the Gear 2 to take calls. Now, it's kind of a novelty, but it does work, and if you're in a pinch and need to make a call, well, I guess you have that ability. Like I said, both devices do feature removable straps, and here's a little comparison of how thick they are side by side. The Gear 2 Neo is a bit thinner than the Gear Fit, but overall it shouldn't make much of a difference on your wrist. Taking a look at the software on the Gear 2 Neo, this device is running Samsung's own operating system called Tizen. Now, I felt that it was a bit sluggish at times. As you can see, there's a tad bit of delay here when I'm swiping through the menus, but it wasn't enough to get too annoying. You know, I just wish that these things would be a little more speedy. It almost felt slower than the Galaxy Gear that we saw last year, but overall, like I said, it wasn't enough to complain about. I just noticed tiny lag. Heading over to the Gear Fit, we are running an RTOS, which is a real-time operating system. So this is not running Tizen or Android. Now, navigating through the menus was rather fluid. It was a bit less responsive than I would like, but again, this is nothing to complain about. So don't take that in a negative way, but you can see me swiping through the menus right here and judge for yourself. Now, these two devices require two different apps, and you can't use both of them on one device at once. Now, we have the Gear Fit Manager and the Gear Manager, and we are going to go ahead and check those out here in this video. So let's launch the Gear Fit Manager here, and as you can see, we do have some settings here to customize the device. We have the Gear 2 Neo set up and connected, and we can go ahead and start out by customizing the home screen. Now, this section will allow you to change out the background. We can switch to different colors or patterns and different wallpapers, and then we can also switch out the clock type, which we can download additional clock faces for, or we can switch to any of the available ones in here, and the changes take effect immediately, as you can see, so that is pretty nice. Now, moving on here, we do have the S Health app, which integrates with the pedometer and the heart rate monitor that's built into the Gear 2 Neo. So all of that data will come into S Health for you, and you can check it all out there. Now, we do also have a notifications section here, which will allow you to enable or disable different types of notifications for virtually any app on your device, which is pretty cool. All you have to do is check the box there, and then you will push notifications from that app over to the Gear 2 Neo, which is incredibly helpful. And pretty much every app I tested that had the ability to send notifications went straight over to the Gear 2 Neo, and it was very useful. Now, one of the benefits of the Gear 2 Neo is the ability to install specific apps. So basically anything that you could find in the store, you can install on the device. But unfortunately, there's not much to be found in here. I mean, it's kind of a ghost town. There's really like 2 to 4 apps in every category, and actually the category that had the most was the most useless category, with just a bunch of additional clock faces. So hopefully development will continue in this app store here and give us some more options to load up apps onto our Gear 2 Neo, because right now it is just sad. Now, we do also have the ability to find my gear, and you can go ahead and tap that start button there, and the Gear 2 Neo will begin making noises and vibrating so you can find it in case you've left it around the house somewhere and still have a Bluetooth connection. We also do have our settings here where we can adjust different options and customize our quick reply responses. Another option we have here on the Gear 2 Neo is the ability to find my phone, and that is an app located on the watch, and if you lose your device and still have a Bluetooth connection, hopefully this will help you find it. So that's very useful. Now, moving along here, we do have the ability to rearrange these icons as well, just by tapping and holding and then dragging them around the interface. And overall, it works pretty well just to rearrange it, though I did find it kind of annoying at times. Coming up next, we are checking out the Gear Fit Manager, which, well, yes, you guessed it, let you manage your Gear Fit. But there's really not much in here to manage, as you can see. We do have a home screen styler, which we can use to change out the background to different colors or wallpapers. We can also change out the clock face here, and as with the Gear 2 Neo, you can download additional ones from the Samsung App Store, so that's kind of cool, so you can switch those out in real time. And finally, we can change out the layout of the icons. So as we swipe over on the device here, we have the icons in a certain order. Now, we can rearrange that just by dragging these around, and you can only do this on the app. I didn't figure out a way to do it on the device, actually, so keep that in mind. Now, this clock icon right here is actually that entire page, that clock page, and then each icon is spaced out 3 to a page, so we can rearrange these icons right here through the app. So let's go ahead and move a couple of them around and then go ahead and press done. And as you can see, the order was rearranged just like that. So it's pretty easy to do it here in the app, but again, I didn't find a way to do it on the device. Now, we do have the S Health app, as you would imagine, that aggregates the data from the Gear Fit and brings it in here so you can check it out and analyze it and everything like that. And we also do have a notifications section. So yes, you can also receive notifications on the Gear Fit from pretty much every app on your device, and you can set it up to work just like that. Now, you can also quick reply to different messages, and you can set that up within these settings here. So that is a very useful feature, and you can quick reply to missed calls and messages, and you can customize those specific messages within the settings. As I mentioned earlier, we do have charging cradles for both the Gear Fit and Gear 2 Neo, and these are pretty easy to use. They just snap onto the back here, making contact with those connection points, and then you can plug in the device via the power adapter on the side. Now, the same goes with the Gear Fit. As you can see, you just snap on that little cradle, and then you can plug it in on the side right here, and you can get your device all charged up and ready to go. Now, one of the weird things about the Gear Fit is the orientation of the display. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to read it just by looking down at your wrist. Well, they do have a solution for that in the settings, and you can flip everything vertically instead of horizontally like it is in the display settings here. So you have rotate screen, and we can tap on that option and be able to rotate the screen in a vertical manner so that everything is kind of up and down when you're looking at it on the side from your wrist. So it kind of makes a little more sense, but at the same time, you lose some screen real estate here. Now, the Gear Fit is pretty cool because, like I said, if you have a call coming in, you can either decline it by swiping up or quick reply by swiping down. And you see the call was rejected. Now I can send a quick reply message that says, "I'll call you later," and that can be customized within the settings of the Gear Fit Manager. Now, the same goes for text messages. So if I have a text come in, I can tap on the message to view it, and then I can scroll down to either delete it, show it on the device, or I can quick reply. And again, we can customize these messages within these settings. So very, very useful, especially if you're out for a jog or something and you don't want to pull out your phone. You can just quickly look at your wrist and reply. Now that is definitely a great feature in my opinion, and of course all of the other notifications like Twitter right here that you can receive on the watch. Now onto the Gear 2 Neo, we do have similar abilities. If I decline a call, I have the ability to select from multiple quick reply messages, which can also be customized in the Gear Manager's app. So maybe you've noticed this by now. You're getting a lot more for your money with the Gear 2 Neo, but is it really worth it? Are either of them worth it? I mean, that's going to be up to you, but you do have the phone dialer here. You have the ability to make phone calls from this thing. You can download apps to this thing. Unfortunately, though, there are not very many apps available. But overall, like I said, you're getting more for your money for that $199 with the Gear 2 Neo. Now, over on the Gear Fit, it's not such a bad device though. If you're into fitness and health, and that's really all you want to focus on, this is going to be a perfect device for you. And not everybody is going to want the Gear 2 Neo over the Gear Fit because the Gear Fit has more of that fitness band look, and it seems to take up less space on your wrist and overall will work perfect for anybody that's into health and fitness. So be sure to let me know what you think about both of these devices down below in the comments section, and leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, feel free to subscribe if you're not already for more videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, everybody. This is Dom, and have a great day.